Just glancing down the fixture list now, from the last 15 games we've been involved in, there's been a 6-1, a 5-2, a 5-3, a 5-3 and a 5-3. They've not all gone our way, but I think it's safe to say I've finally got Nuneaton playing the Kev way. Hello and welcome to part 6 of Backing the Boro. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we're at home against North Ferriby and then away against local rivals Leamington. Since you were last with me, we're doing all right. We're scoring goals. We've had 2 5-3 victories and a 5-3 defeat, plus some other high-scoring games. We kept a clean sheet in that one, which is a bit of a worry because that's the first clean sheet we've kept since December. So I hope we're not turning into one of those teams. But on the whole, it's high-scoring goal fest. Goals going in all directions, and we're coming out on top of it at the moment, and all of that means we're up to 5th place in the league. We're not firmly 2 points, but we're in a playoff position, and that's important. With 9 games of the season left to go? Is that right? Have we only got 9 games left? Only 9 games left, and we are currently sat in a playoff position. So things are going good. There's been a little bit more transfer activity. We've let Exodus leave, so that's 2 of our big old centre backs have now both gone to Merthyr, who are just buying up all of our players, apart from these 2. Elliot Taylor's gone to Kings Lynn on loan, and Callum Ball has gone to Slough on a free transfer. With Langmead and Exodus both leaving, we did try and get John Ashton to join Merthyr as well, but he turned it down because he wanted an assistant manager's job. He was happy to go as a player, but we couldn't quite get rid of all 3 of them. But with their wages, rather than trying to get our wage bill back under budget, we've reinvested in a quality defender, Tony Diane. Would you say that is? Let me know how you say that. It says he's only 3-star current ability, but he is up there as good as Joey Jones and better than anyone else we had at the club. He can play at left back as well. We're not going to need him to play there. He is on a lot of money. He's on £600 a week, but he's only here until the end of the season. If he does well, we'll offer him a new deal. If not, he was better than those 2, and it means we don't have to play any of the old men at the back now, which is an improvement, I think. This is the team that we're going to be putting out there today for the game against North Ferriby, and we are firmly established now in our 3-5-2 attacking system that we're using, and it looks good when it's in motion now, and I like the fact that it looks good. So we've got Linus in goal, a back 3 of Heaton, Diane and Jones, all of them under 30, which is, since he's come in, it's the only time we've been able to play a full back 3, all of them under 30. And I think it is making a difference. We only conceded 3 goals in the last game, for example. We've got Waters and Elliott as our wing-backs, with Mellor and El Bekri in midfield. It could just as easily be Salmons and El Bekri, but we've got Mellor in there today. And then Nicholson in behind Rocker and Chambers, and those 2 are both in fantastic form. If we have a look at Ashley Chambers, he's now got 17 goals this season, but that doesn't tell the whole story because so many of them have come since we've changed this system around, put him in a front 3, put Nicholson in behind him and Rocker alongside him, and Rocker is weighing in with his share of goals as well, and since joining he's now on 9 goals from 12 starts. So between the 2 of them, we have a good strike partnership, we have a creative genius behind them, and a more solid defence. We're starting to look like a proper football team, and hopefully we keep that going today against North Ferriby, because I've been very positive in the intro there. Oh no, they're doing a 3-5-2. Plus they've got Kyle Dixon in their team, who was my first ever YouTube star. He was the star of our first Boston team, the only year we started non-league to legend well, when we won the Conference North at the first time of asking, thanks to, in large parts, Dixon being brilliant as an advanced playmaker in midfield, and of course the turncoat Dale Southwell scoring lots and lots of goals before refusing to sign a new contract. So it's a little bit scary having Dixon in the opposition team, but fingers crossed he won't remember me and he won't deliberately put in a performance just to wreck our promotion push, because the idea of getting into these playoffs in our first season is a very exciting one. The board are only looking for a mid-table finish. The media prediction is mid-table. So I don't even necessarily need to win the playoffs this year. I think winning them could potentially be a disaster, because we'd have to completely overhaul the squad to be ready for the Conference National. But getting into the playoffs is an overachievement. It allows us to maybe attract some players who are coming along for a promotion push rather than just coming along to hang out in Nuneaton. And it's all movement in the right direction. Then Waters with the cross, and their keeper can't handle it, and it goes out for a corner. And I think that's El Beckery. Oh no, it's Mellor coming across to take it. And Rocker drops deep to collect. Out wide to Mellor again, who can't even get there. Can he get across in? He does get it in eventually. Not to anyone in particular. It's just Dixon who intercepts it. And that ends that. But we've started strongly. We're closing in on 60% possession. We've already had nearly 10 shots. We are a good attacking team now. We just need to actually convert some of these chances into goals. But Mellor finds Nicholson. There's loads of space out on the left-hand side with Waters, and he finds him. Can he get a crossover? He's delayed a long time there. Tucks it back to Mellor, who crosses to Chambers, and he scores. Ashley Chambers is scoring for fun at the moment. It was a weird way to go about getting the ball to him. I don't understand why Waters didn't just cross it himself. Nicholson played him in beautifully. If he hits it first time there, it's a goal anyway. But instead, he takes his time, finds Mellor in space, who brilliantly found Chambers just peeling off the back of his marker, nods it in off the underside of the bar. It's 1-0 on 34 minutes. Huzzah! Hopefully, we just score a lot more now. I don't want another 1-0. I want to win 6-0. I want to show you lot that we really have got a lot of goals in us now, because there have been times where we have absolutely ripped teams apart recently. That 5-3 in our last game, the scoreline of 5-3 doesn't tell the whole story. I think we were 4-0 or 5-0 up after about 25 minutes, and then we just took our foot off the pedal completely and let them get back into it a little bit. Made a few substitutions, tried a few things out. So we absolutely dominated them for the first half hour or so and looked unstoppable. And I would like you to see us play like that. So if we're not going to get that today, let's have it against Leamington in the next. Let's kill off a local rival's playoff push. That would be delicious. But first, we need to take care of North Ferriby. And North Ferriby, of course, is the... If you watch my vlog channel, and you should, Lollujo Vlogs, but if you watch the vlog channel, you'll know that I think it's North Ferriby, was the location of the accident I had earlier this year where I fell over in the shower and had to go to hospital. I was supposed to be in Hull, but I think North Ferriby's next door, and that's actually where the hotel was. Fell over in the shower, hit my head on the sink, blood, all sorts of mess. North Ferriby has... It's the first time I've been back, and that's why I've taken my eye off the ball. I'm worried that I'm going to hit my head again. And that, in fact, we're in Nuneaton. It's not... We went back earlier in the season. I didn't even mention it. That story was stupid. Well, if it gets just one of you to go and subscribe to the vlog channel, then it did its job. Right, let's go score another goal now. Chambers, not really much in the way of support for him, but Rocker picks it up out wide to Elliott, who is in a lot of space. El Beckery lumps it forward to Chambers. He must have been offside. He was offside, I think. But, I mean, it was a tidy little finish for a man who just missed everything that came near him earlier in the year. He does seem to have found a way to convert some chances now. It's like he's the reverse Westwood. Is that the name of the guy in Nuneaton to Legend? Westcar, that's his name, not Westwood. Goodness me. He's the reverse of him. It's like I can only have one good striker on Football Manager at any one time. So while he was banging in goals for Alfreton in non-league to Legend, Chambers was struggling in Backing the Boro and Nuneaton. Now Westcar can't score a goal for Toffee. Chambers is scoring lots of goals. Works for me. Right, Rocker not having the best of games. So let's get Nixon on up there. And Nixon is going to be a poacher while Chambers is an advanced forward. We've tried this a few times. It does look very funky when we do it. The three of them very, very attacking. It has, on occasion, caught us out a little bit, so we don't want to do it too often. We're also going to bring on Ashton for Joey Jones. And I want to get Salmons on as well. We'll bring him on for El Beckery. We'll do a good old triple substitution. Can Mellor do that? Yeah, of course he can. Right, triple substitution. Let's go and grab a winner, because after all the excited talk about how good we are now, North Ferriby are in 17th position and we're not beating them and they're on the attack. So for all that talk about how good we are now, we might be about to just have a really stupid, useless performance. Right, Nixon finds Nicholson, who should have scored. Nicholson's better than that. And at the moment, I think we've fallen down to either 6th or 7th in the league. I need to have another look at that league table. We have only just announced ourselves onto the playoff scene. We need to make sure we stay in the hunt. And draws against the likes of North Ferriby is not the way we do that. So we've got to score from this corner. Mellor hits it across and Heaton does score. What a header from Niall Heaton. We need to have a look at the replay of this one, because that was a spectacular header. It was like a bullet into the top corner. Cross comes in from Mellor, and Heaton just absolutely... I mean, if that hadn't have ended up in the back of the net, the ball would have exploded. He headed it so hard. And 2-1, as long as they don't score here, then we're back up to 5th place, very much in the playoff hunt. Only 9 points away from Salford, top of the league. There's only 8 games to go. Don't get silly about that. But... importantly, we've picked up another win. We can take that momentum into the Leamington game and hopefully win a local derby as well. Before we get into this second game, a couple of people have asked me to show the dynamic screen. Having moved on, our captain Kelvin Langmead and one of our more influential players in the shape of Exodus Gohagen, and now we've got a lone player who doesn't get in the team as our captain in the shape of Salmons, and it hasn't really made much difference. We've got good match cohesion, very good dressing room atmosphere, very good managerial support. If we look at the hierarchy, we didn't have any team leaders before. Langmead was just a highly influential player, and actually at the start of the season it was Langmead and Ashton who were our highly influential players, so we've moved Langmead on, but 2 others have moved up into that highly influential start in the shape of Chambers and Nicholson, and certainly they're our 2 best players. If we're going to develop team leaders, we want it to be those 2. Ashton will probably look to move on anyway, and then we've got some of the other players pushing through as influential players, Elliot, Linus and Salmons. The new guys have pushed straight into the social groups as well, so Mills is still out there as a bit of a loner, but then he's never played a game for us. But Diane, the new guy at the back, is already in the core social group, as is Salmons, and I think the fact that our entire starting 11 and substitutes, more often than not, are all in the core social group, I think that's a massive, massive reason behind the success that we've been having recently. We don't have anybody who's a bit of an outsider. We don't have anybody who doesn't fit in, and they're all completely behind, all of them, and it's working, which is awesome. So, for the game against Leamington, no need for mass changes or any changes at all. In fact, we're just tweaking the bench a little bit. We'll have Trotman and Diona on the bench because wing-backs. But we don't need to make any changes because it was a good performance in that last game. We just need to do more of the same. No complacency at all. They're only like 4 places below us in the league. Always side with the manager, managers union, etc., etc. Right, let's get into the game. So, as it stands, we need to get number of games played on there now as well, so we can. I think there's 7 games left after this one, and we are now starting to think in terms of playoffs and whether or not we're going to be able to get the job done and get there. So let's just make sure we defend this. Linus does well to come across and save, and the whole of the back 3 were very slow to react to that. But Waters came all the way over from left wing back to clear, which, I mean, that's fine as long as someone's clearing it. But, that's good from El Bekri. Gets in there, makes the tackle, and now we can build again through our midfield. And El Bekri tries a second time, and now Mellor's going to have another go. Nicholson picks it up a little bit shorter to Chambers, out wide to Elliot, who can cross, but instead tucks it inside to Nicholson. And Mellor, we're trying to play it through nice and neatly, and it falls to Jordan Nicholson, who makes it 1-0. And that's the first goal he scored for a little while, actually. His contract with Posh is up at the end of the season. I don't know if we're going to be able to afford to sign him permanently. I would absolutely love to build a team around him and Ashley Chambers long term, because certainly if we're in the Conference North again next year, those 2, for a second season, bumping up to team leader status, they're just going to tear this division apart. And I think they've probably both got enough about them to make the step up to the Conference National as well when the time comes. Certainly Nicholson, because he's that bit younger. But I would be surprised if we were able to get him. We're a Conference North club. We haven't got a lot of money, and he's not going to want to make the drop from League One all the way down to the Conference North, unless he's not as good as I think he is. But even if he's not, he does well enough for us, so we want him. And Mellor can't quite get there with Chambers playing the through ball. I want to see that league table again. Can we swap one of these for a league table? I don't need this screen on here. Can we make that a league table? We can make that a league table. Right, here we go. So, as it stands right now, we're in 4th place in the league, which I need to look up again how the playoffs work. I know people have explained it to me before. Is it 4th to 7th play each other to qualify for the semi-final? And then 2nd and 3rd get involved as well and play normal playoffs with the winners of 4th and 7th and 5th and 6th, I guess. which means if we finish 4th, we've got to play 2 extra games compared to if we finish 3rd. So we're level on points with Telford at the moment. Rocker's just scored a beauty. We're level on points with Telford with 7 games to go. They've got a better goal difference than us, but we are now scoring for fun. So there's every chance we can close that gap. I would like to finish 3rd. I mean, listen to him, eh? I'd like to finish 3rd. We shouldn't be in the playoffs. We're just having a bit of a purple patch because of this brilliant team spirit we've fostered. But, yeah, finishing 3rd obviously is a big advantage over 4th because you get that bit of extra rest, presumably. I need to check that's definitely how it works. Nicholson again, scores again. Jordan Nicholson, what a hero. It's 3-0 before half-time against our local rivals, and we are starting to eat into that goal difference advantage that AFC Telford have got, and that could be oh so important as we move towards the business end of this season. And I mean, is there a better situation to be into going into the playoffs than being the form team who are off the back of win after win after win after win? Obviously, we've still got a long way to go. It's a tall order to keep winning for 7 more games, and if we do, we might even win the league. But you know, if we win, go into there in incredible form with a 2nd or 3rd place finish in the league, surely we go on and win those playoffs just through momentum. Right, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We've got to win this game. Not got to get too excited. But this, I mean, I should have started with this formation from the beginning, because the only other time I've ever taken a team from Conference North and got significant progress was when we did the Bolton battle 2 years ago on FM18, and we were way in the future. If you haven't seen the series, it was way in the future, and Bolton got relegated all the way out of the playable leagues. And as I retired my manager, I noticed Bolton had just got promoted back into the Conference North, so we took them. And oh, that's terrible from Waters. Let's just make sure we don't concede here. It hits the post and Waters gives away a penalty. I mean, that's double terrible from Waters, and he's probably going to get sent off as well because he's denied a goal scoring opportunity there. I mean, that's triple useless with bells on. Just let him score the goal, for goodness sake, at this point, because now we're going to lose a player and they're going to score a goal. It's a yellow card, and hopefully Linus saves the penalty, and then Waters is a genius. Go on, save it. It's 3-1. I mean, not a disaster because we didn't get down to 10 men. Would have been a disaster if Waters had been sent off, because I still don't know what to do when we get a player sent off. But as I was saying, we picked up Bolton just as they made it back into the league structure, and pretty much from the word go, we used quite a direct 3-5-2, and I think we made it as far as the championship in that save. Jordan Nicholson has got his hat-trick. It's one of my most favourite saves that I've done, so it's well worth checking out, and it seems that this is the system for charging up the leagues. Oh, apologies for that replay being a little bit stop-start. I had a big sneeze and didn't want to burst your eardrums if you're listening on headphones, so I had to edit the sneeze out. I hope I edited the sneeze out. Future Kev, if you didn't edit the sneeze out, you're a monster. But 4-2 now. I mean, it's Kev ball. We're playing proper Kev football now. Remember the goal difference, lads. It's not just about goals scored. We were closing in on Telford, and now it's back to a 4-goal gap again. We can't let Leamington back into this game. Remember, Leamington, in their own right, are pushing for the playoffs. They're not that far behind us. So just because we're in good form doesn't mean that we're a much better team than they are. We need to be a little bit wary that we don't get sloppy. Right, Chambers hasn't had a good game today, so let's bring Nixon on. And then we're going to bring... In fact, we're going to change the fullbacks then. Certainly going to bring Trotman on for Elliott. Do we bring Diona on for Waters? Actually, I think we'll bring Salmons on in midfield for El Bekri, like we did in the last game. Just swap those two over. Just Salmons, especially if we're taking Chambers off, who was captain for the day. Let's bring Salmons on, stick the captain's armband back on him. We're up to 3rd as of right now. Telford must be losing in their game. We are up to 3rd place, everybody. This is not a drill. Do not mess up from here. And I need to learn how to say that guy's name. I think it's Diane. We'll just keep calling him Diane. Nixon crosses to Rocker, and it's 5-2. Are we going to do the 4th 5-3 match that we've been involved in this season by conceding another one in a minute? Is 5-3 the new 6-6? Because You'd think with a fairly solid 3 at the back system like we're playing and a decent goalkeeper, you wouldn't expect us to concede quite as many goals as we do. We do. We concede a lot of goals, but we are scoring them for fun at the moment. And goodness me, is it fun. And Waters is now going to get himself sent off. I mean, he has just been a clumsy oaf today. There is his red card. I should have taken him off when I had the opportunity. And now I really don't know what to do. In fact, I do know what to do. It's the one player I do know what to do something about, because Jordan Nicholson can play left wing back. So we'll do that. I mean, it's not ideal. The hat-trick hero, the best attacking midfielder in non-league football, and we're playing him at left-back for the rest of the game. I mean, it's what you'd expect from me, really. I'm surprised I don't start him there. But, yeah, let's go and grab a 6. It'd be nice to do a 6-2 rather than a 5-3. But it is Leamington who've got the ball. And are they going to go? They're going to do it, aren't they? 5-3 is going to be my new trademark. I kind of want it to happen now, because then I can do, if we do 5-5-3s this season, I think we need a 5-3 t-shirt to celebrate the 5-3 promotion year. And Telford are now back above us again. They must have equalised in their game. So now we're all about goals again. And Nixon is in and makes it 6. It's 6-2. We're playing one of our local rivals, and we've scored 6 goals against them away from home. This is spectacular. Why did we not figure out how to do this earlier in the season? We would be absolutely romping this league if we'd have figured out how to do this before Christmas. But I'm glad we figured it out now. And, I mean, there's still a chance. They got a penalty, but we don't get to find out what happened to get them the penalty. And Linus does save this one. And then we slide tackle from we don't learn. We just 2 penalties in the game and we slide tackle in to try and deflect a rebound. We're idiots. And now Telford are ahead in their games. So they're actually ahead of us on points now. And goal difference becomes less important again. But just winning every game is what it's all about from here on in. And I'm so happy that we've scored all these goals against Leamington. You've finally seen us be at our ruthless attacking best. And that... Oh, I enjoyed that. That was... Whoa. Right, I think the next time you're going to be with me is for the final 2 games of the regular season. I'm now working on the assumption that we're going to get into the playoffs. So we'll do the final 2 games of the regular season. And, hold on, this just in. We've got a crossover live for an interview with the Nuneaton manager.
It's a good victory today, Kev, against one of your close rivals. Have you got any comments on the game?
I mean, it served them right. They came in here with the goal to try and score a goal against us, and we always knew that if they came here trying to score goals, we would probably score more than they do because of the way we line up with all the attacking players and not much at the back. And it led to an exciting game for the fans. We came out on top as we expected, and hopefully them lot will know better next time and just come here and let us play our game and not be so over the top with their own insistence on trying to win a football match.